y'all doing tonight? I'm trying something very new, so please let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. But hi and happy Friday. So I'm just checking the chat. So hopefully you can hear me. Hi, everybody. My name is Carly Bell, and I love to do machine embroidery tutorials. And I like to get together with all of you every other Friday night for a little something we call Sip and Stitch. So bring your beverage of choice, and we are going to make a project from start to finish on our embroidery machine. So, yay, glad you can hear me. So, a little something new this week. I'm really excited. Something I've been wanting to try for a long time. But I'm trying out a new program so that we can show the show on both YouTube and Facebook. So if you are watching us on Facebook, hi, thanks for watching. Um, Great. I'm glad y'all can hear me okay. Yay. Okay. And I hope this will help some of our viewers. I know have told me before they watch me on YouTube, but they can't figure out how to join in on the chat and comment and talk while we're working. So hopefully Facebook's a little bit easier with that and y'all can join in. Hey, my friend Kristen's here. Hey, Kiki. So yay, glad y'all can hear and see me good. Woo. All right. So super excited about tonight's project. And we also have an exciting announcement for tonight. So let me try and get all my ducks in a row in my head. First thing, kind of had a little boo-boo with scheduling. I thought for sure my friend's birthday party was tomorrow night, Saturday night. And I checked Facebook today to see, about bringing king cakes to this party. Yeah, the party's tonight. I got that wrong. So party starts right now at 7. So I told my husband I will be as quick as I can and try and wrap this up in an hour, about 8 o'clock, and we'll just be a little fashionably late for the party. So excuse me if I go a little faster than usual tonight. He's already set an alarm on my little speaker in my craft room here. It's going to go off at 8 o'clock. So sorry about that. But I wanted to make sure we did tonight's project because I had it all set up and ready to go. And we also have some exciting news. So if you watched last Sip and Stitch, you heard that we reached a exciting milestone on YouTube. We got up to 10,000 subscribers. So I was really excited about that. And Sewing Machines Plus graciously donated a $500 gift card for me to give away to all of you as a big thank you for subscribing and supporting my channel. So we picked the winner. And I talked to her today and she is so excited, and it's beautiful because it also happens to be her birthday week. So this is a lovely birthday, but our winner is, let's see if I could do this. Hey, Ann Strickland Barter. So she won the $500 gift card to Sewing Machines Plus, and she gets a 1-year free membership to my CF Fans membership group. So she gets 1 year free of that as well. So excited for Ann. Yay! Tell us. And Ann, she's in our Facebook group, which if you're not already a member of our Facebook group, I have a link in the description box somewhere to the Facebook group. Come and join us. But Ann, you have to tell us all the things that you get with your gift card, because we're all going to be shopping in our heads of what we would have bought with it, and we need to know what you're getting with it. So, Ann, please make sure you share with us in the Facebook group what you get with your gift card. All right, let's see. I think I got some other fancy things here. What's this? Ooh, yay, we got that little thing there. I have a love-hate relationship with technology today. I'm liking it, so we'll see how this keeps going. So let's talk about tonight's project. And also shout out real quick to my moderators. Carol, Con, and Brenda are the lovely ladies that help moderate. They are all on YouTube. So if you have questions and I'm busy and I don't see them in the chat, they usually try and help with answering them, or they will collect them. So when I'm ready for questions, they'll repeat them for you so that I can try and answer them for you. I don't think we have anyone on Facebook doing that, but I will do my best to go. And if if I don't answer your question, just ask it again. Okay. So tonight's project is a Valentine's lollipop holder. So this is what we're making tonight. This is an in the hoop project. And if you can see here, I made it with just craft felt. And it has two little holes that we're going to put in it. And it helps a lollipop slide right through. And I thought this was so cute. It says, "You're totally cool." So it's got a little froggy toad on there. So this is what we're making tonight. And I actually made this design myself, and I have it as a free download for you. So you can go to, let's see if I got this. Ooh, look at that. You can go to my website, carlybell.com/sip in stitch, and put dashes in between the sip and stitch. And that is the sip and stitch homepage. Every time we do a project, that website will have what we're doing, all the supplies you need for that project, and links to everything. So on there is a link to get your free design download. Okay, so you can go there if you haven't already. Oops, sorry. I got to fix that. You can go there if you haven't already and download your free design. You just put your name and email, and it will automatically email the design to you. If you don't get the design, check your spam folder. Okay. It sometimes ends up there. If you check your spam folder and it's still not there, then send me a email to hello@carlybell.com. It's right there. And I will resend you the design to make sure that you get it. Okay. I know that happens sometimes. It happened when we had our leather beanie patch. I made a free design for that one too, and they had a few people that didn't get it. So I just want to make sure y'all know all of that. So that's what we're making tonight. And the supplies you need for the project is fairly simple. You need 2 pieces of craft felt, and this is plain old felt you can get in packs at Walmart. You can get it at Hobby Lobby. Just plain old kids crafting felt. Okay, that's what we're using. You can also make this with, I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember to keep the thing open, the comments. You can also make this with fabric if you wanted to. You have to think about the raw edges though. Okay, but if you put some heat and bond light, that can prevent the fraying. And I used pinking shears to cut this one to give it a little bit of some detail on the edge. You can use embroidery vinyl or faux leather if you want to. That is not a problem at all. And I also think, I have not tried, but I think it would work with a nice cardstock paper. I think we could also do it with paper. So I might try that later on next week and see if it works, and I'll let y'all know. So 2 pieces, we're going to make ours tonight again with felt. And then I'm using cutaway stabilizer. And I have the pre-cut sheets, which I'm in love with. I've been using them for everything. And then all that's left is your threads, your color threads that you want to make with for tonight's project. So I am going to switch y'all over to Embrilliance because I wanted to show you 2 things real quick. Let's see if we can do this. Yay! All right, nope. I want you to only see, that's all the cameras. No, that won't work. If I make this one and this one, nah, it's all right. Okay, so you see all the cameras on the side. We could do this. There we go. Okay, so now you see my Embrilliance screen. Let me get my mouse over here. Okay, so we are in Embrilliance now, and I have the design pulled up. This design is meant to fit in a 5x7 hoop. I know I had a few people message me asking if I can make it in a 4x4, and I'm sorry I did not have time to try and do that before tonight's show, but I will try and work on it next week for you. And I will post about it when I can. So let me zoom out to the hoop here. Okay, so this is a 5x7 hoop. What I wanted to show you was 2 things. I did have one friend in our Facebook group that asked, can this design hold a pencil instead of a lollipop? Because she wanted to hand out pencils for her little girls class, because they have a lot of COVID regulations now where we actually can't give out food at school, which is a great idea. I tried it with my little test stitch that I made at home, but the holes were too small. So my solution for that is go open it in Embrilliance, scroll down to the last step, which are the little holes, okay, and just widen them a little bit. Just pull them out and widen them. The stitches might look slightly funky, but this step I do in the same color thread as whatever felt I'm doing so that they don't stand out. So I think it will be okay. So just widen that out and your pencil should fit in there, okay? So I'm gonna undo that. And then the second thing I wanted to show you is if you want to make multiple of these for your kids' class, or like for me, I like to do it for all the little girls at dancing school. You can fit 2 of these in one 5x7 hoop. So I'm going to turn my hoop. If you press this button down here, where it tells you the size of your hoop, click that, and that's going to rotate it to be horizontal. And then I'm going to select the whole design, and I'm going to go up here to copy, and then go over to paste. So now I have 2. And I'm going to, let's see, do this. And same thing with this one, move them over here. Okay, so you can fit 2 in one hoop, but there's one more step you need to do even after copying and pasting. If you look at it, it's going to stitch all of this one and then all of this one. You want to stitch them all at the same time. You want to stitch the frog on this one and the frog on this one. And if you don't want to keep jumping back and forth steps on your machine, we can do something called color sort, and we go to utility, color sort. And when we do that, it says we reduce the design by 16 color changes. So then we're going to hit new view, and my hoop is not turned, so I'm going to turn it. There we go. And now if we look at it, it's got 2 designs. It's the same thing, and it's going to do both placement steps, both frogs, both crowns, and so on. Okay. The only thing I think I noticed, because I have them, it's gonna combine whatever's the same color. The your and the dash I had as the same color, so they're all gonna stitch together. If you want them different colors, just go back to the original design and change, where's that dash? Here's the dash. Change it to a different color and do that for both of them. And then it would, when you color sort, it wouldn't be like this where it's together. There'd be the 2 yours would stitch and then the 2 dashes would stitch. So that was the only thing I saw. But that is instructions for you for stitching out 2 at a time. Okay, let's see. How do I get back over here? Okay. Okay, so I hope that was clear for everybody. Okie dokie. So if that is okay, we're going to go ahead and get started with hooping our stabilizer and start stitching on the machine. How am I doing on time? We're doing good. All right. All right. Let's see. Chris is saying I had 2 mouse arrows. I don't know how that happened, but yes, it looked like I did. All right. Okay, Carol, we have a question about magnetic hoops. Let's see if I could find it. I could put it on the screen. Lois, look at this. Let's see if this works. Ooh, okay. I want a magnetic hoop for a Baby Lock Alliance. I found a hoop that's 4.25 by 13 for a 610 needle. No, you will not be able to use that on your Baby Lock Alliance. The Alliance and the Persona both have the max width of 8 inches. So those, the 6 needle and the 10 needle goes up to 12. And so some of the magnetic hoops say 13 inches wide. but the sewing field, the embroidery field is still only 12 inches wide. For your alliance, it's only 8 inches wide. So the widest magnetic hoop you can get is 9 inches wide. For instance, I have a mighty hoop. I have an 8 by 9 mighty hoop that fits my persona, will also fit your alliance. The sewing field inside, though, is still only 8 by 8 inches. So that is the biggest one that you can get for your machine. Okay. So, all right, let's go over, let's see if this works. Craft table. All right. So here is a closer look of tonight's design that we're going to be making. It is fairly simple. This is, even though this might look complicated to you if you're new to In the Hoop projects, this is very, very simple. So all we're going to do, oh, I forgot one more supply we need tonight is, you can try a seam ripper, but I find an X-Acto knife works really well. And that's going to be for cutting our little holes when we're done, okay? But the first thing you're going to want to do is get your 5x7 hoop and some cutaway stabilizer. And this is the pre-cut cutaway stabilizer ready to go for 5x7 hoops. And I have a link for it on that Sip and Stitch homepage with all the supplies that I told you about earlier. The link for it is on there. And with Sewing Machines Plus, anytime you purchase something from them, you can use coupon code Carly Bell and you'll get 10% off your order. So if you need stabilizer, you need thread, extra needles, if you're looking at a magnetic hoop, they have them. Use coupon code Carly Bell. Okay, so I am hooping my cutaway stabilizer, just put in between the two hoops. Remember to make sure there's an arrow here and there's an arrow here. Even though my hoop is dirty, it's hard to tell. That you want to make sure your hoop is in the right orientation and not turned around. So make sure those two arrows line up, okay? And that's it, guys. Now we can go straight to the machine and start stitching. All right. Okay, so here's the machine, and I am just sliding my hoop on here. I'm using my PE 770, my OG. This is my first machine. She looks like such a baby now in my sewing room compared to all the other machines. She is baby, even though she's the oldest. So with this machine, the hoop goes on a bracket, so you have to click it and make sure it's on. I've always had trouble with getting the hoop on this machine with these brackets. It can be tricky. To double check that your hoop is on correctly, lift it like this and make sure it doesn't pop off. And that's how you know it's on good, okay? So that is on. Now I have all my threads lined up here. The first thing we're gonna stitch is actually the placement for the felt. After that, we're gonna stitch the frog. This placement line we're not gonna see when we're done. This is gonna be underneath the felt. But the frog is next. So I'm going to go ahead and load the green thread. And I actually forgot my thread stand. Let's see. Let's be brave and use this tonight. I usually don't use this. I love my thread stand. But we'll see how this works. Let's see if this proves that how much I don't like this. All right. So I'm just following the thread path. And thread my needle. All done. Oh, I need to make sure my design is on there. So I have it on my USB stick. I hit the USB and just scroll through this one. Oh. And it's loaded. It's ready to go. I got my presser foot down. The first thing it's going to stitch is this just rectangle placement stitch. And that is just showing where to put the felt. Yay. Let's see. Laura Lee wanted to know if Sewing Machines Plus sells glide thread. I don't think they do, Laura Lee. I know they sell Exquisite. That's what I usually buy from them. I don't know if they sell glide. I think you have to buy glide from habindash.com. Okay, so I'm going to take this off just so you can see. But here is placement stitch. So this is just showing where exactly to put the felt, and we're going to put it right on top. You can also use some tape if you're worried about the felt moving. You want to make sure your placement lines are completely covered. Make sure nothing is not going to look good when it's done stitching and you have to cut it. So I like it to be over the placement lines good. If you're worried about it moving, you can use some masking tape or paper tape and just tape the felt down onto the stabilizer. So that's something you can do whenever you're doing applique projects or in the hoop projects. You can tape it down. But I think it's going to be fine right where it's at. So I'm going to just leave it alone. And the next step is to stitch the frog. So I'm going to lower the presser foot and it's going to stitch our little frog. And the frog is like a sketch stitch and it's really cute. All right, so that is stitching. Let's see. I'm just checking the chat now. Yay. Welcome, Jody. It's her first time watching today. All right. If doing 2 in the hoop, can you use a larger piece of felt and cut it when it's done? Krista, great question. Yes, that is exactly what I would do. I would cover my whole hoop in one big piece of white felt and then stitch the 2 frogs. And then when it's all done, I would cut out 2 separate cards. You'd put enough space in between the 2 designs on the hoop so that you can cut a nice little piece on both cards. So yes, definitely. All right, Jenny asks, can this be done on a multi-needle machine? Yes, it certainly can. This design can be done on any machine that has a 5x7 hoop or larger as of right now. I will work on trying to make it 4x4. Actually, I had a smaller one that would have fit in the 4x4 hoop, but let me show you. After I stitched it out, I noticed that the sucker covered up the words. So I'm like, that's not going to work. So that's why I changed it to be taller, and so that the sucker can go on the side. And when it's in there, it won't cover up any of the design. So I will try and work around that to see if I can make it shorter so that it can fit in the 4x4 hoop. But yeah, as of right now, this design can be made on any machine, flatbed or multi-needle, that has a 5x7 hoop or bigger. All right, let's see. Magnolia Morning asks, what is a thread stand that I mentioned that I normally use? Let me go see if I can get it without knocking anything over. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Can you see that? Let me make it shorter. This is the thread stand that I usually use. So I would park this over here, but my computer's right here right now. I would park it over here, put my thread, loop it through here, and then go from directly here into number 1 on my machine. I think I can put it right here. It might be in y'all way a little bit. So let's see. My next color is gold. So I'm going to go ahead and thread the gold. And when the green is done, I'm going to put the gold on and we'll see how that goes. All right. All right, 2x. Oh, did I get it? No. Is the design available in JEF format? Let me check on that for you, Sue. Let's see. I know I offer it in several formats. I can't remember all of them though. Let me double check that. It should be. That's a common one, yeah? It comes in, let's see, DST, HUS, JEF, yes, PES, VP3, and XXX. Those are all the formats that the free design comes in. All right, so the green is done. So one of my other things that I do, where are we, is I cut my thread up here. Oops. And then I pull it through. So let me raise the presser foot. I pull it out the bottom here. You don't want to pull the thread backwards through the thread path. All right, and now my gold is here. I'm gonna run that through. So the next step is the crown. All right, so thread, oops, that didn't work. Thread my needle. Ta-ta. And it's a little too long. All right, and I'm gonna lower the presser foot, and now it's gonna stitch the crown. Sorry if I keep messing up the focus. All right. All right, Michelle X, the smaller dum-dum suckers work. So this is one of those small suckers. It's made by Charms, but it's a mini one. So it's the same size as a dum-dum. So I don't think I can make, I have to play around with it to see how I'm gonna make it work on a 4x4. Okay, so I'm cutting the gold thread, pulling it out. Let me get my trash can. Okay, next is the white of the eyes. And that's gonna go on the froggy. All right, and lower the presser foot and go. All right, I think I saw someone asked earlier how long it takes to stitch out. So on my machine, it tells me it takes 16 minutes to stitch out. Each machine is going to be different, and most of them will tell you the predicted stitch out time based on the number of stitches, and you know, your machine knows how fast it's going. Let's see, Patty says she loves her thread stand. It works great. And Dawn says exactly, that's how I think too. The thread stand really helps to prevent thread breaks, because I find sometimes the thread doesn't feed off of here very nicely and it gets hooked up on something, and that causes more tension than there's supposed to be and the thread breaks. Okay, so we're done with the white. I don't know what's going on. My scissors not cutting. Oh, these are my old ones. That's why. Oh, have to have the presser foot up to pull the thread out. Okay, and next is, there's 3 steps that are next. Then the first one is some little dots on the cheek that I thought were cute, like little spots. Then the black pupil of the eye, then the smile. So they're all 3 separate steps on your machine and in Brilliance. In Brilliance, they're listed as 3 different colors, but in real life, I'm going to stitch all 3 of those steps in black. So I put them all one right after the other, so that if you wanted to do them all black, they're boom, boom, boom. Do it. If you want to do them different colors, you by all means, you can just change your threads for each step. So these are those little spots. At first I thought about doing them in a dark green, but then I was like, you can't really tell the difference between the dark green and the black, so one less color change. Now, because my machine does not cut jump stitches, there is a jump between, let me take it off and so I can show you. There is a jump between those steps. So all I'm going to do is just run my little scissors under here and then pull this up and cut it. I want to pull it though to make sure it's tight. Okay. So I cut that jump stitch. If your machine cuts jump stitches, then you don't have to worry about that step. All right, so make sure we're on here good. All right, next step is the middle of the eyes. Okay. All right, Magnolia Morning has a good question. Needles. When do you use ballpoint and when do you use sharp? I typically almost always use a ballpoint needle. At first I thought maybe I should use a sharp needle when doing my faux vinyl projects, but really I think the ballpoint is better for that too. So it's not very often that I use a sharp needle. That's just my experience. All right. Okay, so that's the eyes. And then there's going to be a jump stitch between them, but I'm going to cut them later. And then next is the smile. Okay, now we have the, I got to throw these scissors away. They're no more good. I got some new ones. Here's my new ones. They got a nice little blue thingy on them. Boom. The next step is the cheeks, and I have a cute like little heart on his knee right here. So I'm gonna do all three of those are in one step, and that's gonna be with pink, and there will be jump stitches in between them, and we'll just have to trim those after. Okay. Let's see. Thanks, Linda. Linda's watching for me. We're at halftime, she said. All right, so we got our three little dots here, our cheeks and our cute little heart on the knee. So now let me think about, okay, now I'm thinking because we have all of these set up as different colors, right? I think I'm gonna do Toad pink again and maybe do the You're Totally Cool in blue or black. Maybe I'll do You're Totally in black on the white felt, the Toad again in pink, and then Cool I might do in this blue color. And then I'll do the outline in the blue color. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so thinking about that, I have pink still on the machine. So what I wanna do in pink, I wanna do Toad. And Toad is actually not this step, but the next one. So I'm gonna fast forward one step. And the way you do that on my old machine, first I have to hit the adjust button right here. If you're on a newer PE 800, you're seeing this button already, and it looks like the tip of a needle with a plus and a minus next to it. Click that. Now you're going to have options of a needle with a minus, a needle with a plus. Those are to move backwards an individual stitch or to move ahead an individual stitch. Then you'll also see some other buttons that have looks like a spool of thread with a minus and a spool of thread with a plus. The minus is going to move back an entire step. the plus will move ahead an entire step. So that's what we want to do. We want to move ahead one whole step. So I'm going to press the spool with a plus. Now we're on the step with the word toad. And I am going, my presser foot's already loaded. I'm going to hit go. And now it's stitching toad. So that just saved me one color change of rethreading my needle that now I don't have to do an extra one. Let's see. Hi, Teresa. It's her first time tuning in. What machine am I using? I am using an old machine. This is a Brother PE770. The newer version of this machine, which is the same exact thing, it just has a few upgraded features, is the Brother PE800. It is an excellent machine to start off with if you're wanting to explore the world of embroidery. It is still an investment, but you'll learn very quickly that the world of embroidery is very, very expensive. When I first got into it, I was like, geez, these things are expensive, because I first started with using a silhouette machine. And you can get a silhouette machine you can get the smaller silhouette machine for a little over $100. You can get a nicer silhouette machine for a little over $200. So I was coming from that world, and to jump into this machine costs $850. I was like, geez, that's a lot. But it is a good place to start. However, unfortunately, this machine is very, very hard to find right now. It is on back order or not available almost everywhere. I know I talked to Blaine at Sewing Machines Plus yesterday, and he said they still don't have any in. So, but keep your eye out. You might find them on Amazon once in a while. I'll definitely let y'all know if Sewing Machines Plus gets them in. But that's what this machine is. Krista makes a good point. This machine is cheaper than quilting. And I know that now because I started to dive into the world of quilting, and it's going to take all of my money. All right, so we are done stitching the word toad. All right, toad is done. We are done with pink thread. So I'm cutting that, lifting, pulling that out. All right, so what I said, I'm going to do your and the dash and totally. I'm going to do that in black. So I need to now back up a couple steps. So I'm going to use those same buttons to back up to the step. Well, I can actually go forward and then back up. I think I'll do that. Okay. All right. So the next step, if I don't mess with anything, is the dash. So, and I do want that black, so I'm going to go ahead and stitch that. And then the step right after the dash is the second part of the word. Let's see, Tully, T-A-L-L-Y. And I'm going to stitch that. Oh, so we're talking about quilting. I started to dive into the world of quilting. I made my first little mini quilt. I'm very proud of it, even though it's got a lot of mistakes that I want to show y'all. Can you see my little mini quilt? So I just bought a, what do you call it, charm pack, the little packs of fabrics that are a little 5-inch square. And I made my half triangles, and then I put them all together. And then I used batting in the back, and I put it all on my bigger machine, the Baby Lock Altair. And I just put this on. I have a 9.5 inch by 9.5 inch hoop. I put that on there, and I used one quilting design, and it covered the whole thing with all 3 of those pieces in the hoop. and then I did binding, and I learned I'm not very good at binding, but this was my first go at it, and I'm excited to try more things. So it's my first little quilt. I'm gonna use it like as a just a little piece on the table center thingamabob. Something like that to put stuff on. Thank y'all. Yes, I like the colors in this. Those little charm pack, and I was like, oh, that is cute. So, all right, we are done with Tully, the dash and Tully, Toad Tully. All right, I want to back up and go back to your at the top of it. So I'm going to use the minus spool. Back up, back up, back up. And now it's on your. All right, there we go. Yeah, so I'm diving into the world of quilting now. I have an ambition to make my girls each a quilt for their bed. I don't know if I'm actually going to accomplish that. I've also, I think y'all have heard me talk about before, I've deep into the world of Kimberbell, which is like machine embroidery quilting. I've gone down that hole, and I started making some things, but I have ambitions of making like a quilted pillow, and then like a wall hanging quilt from them. Ooh, let's see, Norma, where'd she go? She went to the Road to California quilt show yesterday, bought Mylar and different colors of cork. Yay, and ruler. That sounds awesome, Norma. All right. Yay. Delia dove into the world of quilting last year, and she accomplished the big quilt. Awesome. And you had someone else quilt it. Haven't done anything big yet. Yeah. I am looking at, so here's also Delia's question. Did I use end-to-end quilting? I used one of my end-to-end quilting designs from Design by Juju. So the last Sip and Stitch, we made a mug rug, and we used one of those quilting designs to quilt our mug rug. I used this another swirly quilting design I bought from her, and I used the big 8x8 size option. So it was just one big file, and I put it right on top of here. So when you buy those quilting designs, they come in a 5x7 option, a 4x4 option, so you can do it as you need. And that one I was able to just do one big quilting design on it, just like we did the mug rug. All right, so I'm done with the your. We got Toad Tully. So the last word on this is cool, and I'm going to do that in this pretty blue color. So this is set up to where you can do all these words in the same color if you want, or you could make each word a different color. So it's up to you on how you want the overall design to look. So it's set up to where the machine is going to stop if you do want to change colors. All right, so we got the blue, but we're not on the right step. It's back to being on Toad. So I need to jump ahead, spool plus, spool plus, spool plus. Now we're on cool. And now it's going to do that last word. All right. Bethany asked, where was the charm pack from that I got this? I actually got it from Walmart. Walmart. Where is that charm pack? I don't know where it is. But I got a charm pack and a jelly roll in this fabric scheme. And I thought it was so pretty. Walmart. They really stepped up their fabric game in the past year. Let's see. Let's see. Yay, Dawn. It's her first time being able to view. Glad you're here. All right. Carol or Con, have I missed any questions that maybe what happened earlier that I missed? Or anybody on Facebook had a question that wasn't answered? Thanks for joining us, Bonnie. You can always come back and watch the replay. It's going to be on the Facebook page and on my YouTube channel for you to watch anytime. Okay, so we are done with the word cool. Now, this is the step that makes it an in the hoop project. This is where in the hoop part comes in, right? So we've stitched all of this, right? But we have all this stitching on the back. We don't want people to see all this, right? We want it to look nice and clean and you not to see any of that stitching. So this is where the extra piece of felt comes in, and we are going to tape it to the back of your hoop, covering up. Make sure it goes all around this outer placement stitch. That's your guide to know that your felt is in the right spot. So put it there, and then use masking tape or some kind of paper tape. You can even use Scotch tape, and tape this to the bottom of your hoop so that it doesn't fall off or move. I usually just kind of do it here and then, you know, have some support under it. You don't want to push too hard because you don't want to pop the stabilizer out in between the two plastic pieces of the hoop, right? If you put too much pressure, it will cause the hoop to come undone, and we want to make sure that all stays sturdy. So that is my felt on the back of my hoop, and now I'm just going to carefully slide this back on the machine with that felt underneath. Okay, and I want to do my outline in this blue color, so that worked out good. That I did cool last, and now I'm gonna do the outline in blue. I'm just smoothing this out and lower my presser foot, and this is going to do that outline stitch again, connecting your front piece of felt to the back piece. Oh yeah, Kathy's putting cork on the back. That's a great idea. You can definitely use cork. So there's lots of materials that we can use for this project. Me personally, when I'm doing something that is going to be, that I plan on making a bunch of them and handing them out to kids, felt is a great option. It's very inexpensive. You can buy tons of different colors in one pack, and it's easy to stitch on, and it gives you a clean edge. So whereas like I like to save all my pretty vinyls and corks and faux leathers for some projects that maybe I don't have to make so many of them, so I don't use it all. I like them better for like snap tabs and stuff like that, and key fobs. All right, Dawn asked a great question. How often would you recommend getting your machine serviced? So it all depends on how much you use your machine, right? If you are a hobbyist like me and you're just turning your machine on once a week, a couple times a week, or not even every week, you can go, I think, up 2 years before getting it serviced. But there are things that you can do at home to keep your machine nice and clean. Certain practices, like my thing of cutting the thread and pulling it through. Those simple types of practices or habits help to prevent lint building up in your machine, which would cause it to have to get serviced earlier. And keeping your bobbin area clean. That's another thing that helps prevent your machine from having to get serviced. But these machines do need to get serviced as much as once a year, depending on how much you're using it. Could be spread out to every 2 years. I think I even went a span of 3 years of not having this service. And she works like a charm. I've been having this baby since 2013, I think, the year after Abigail was born. I got her when she was a year old. Yeah, so 2013. So she's almost 10 years old. And she works great. I had her serviced on average every 2 years. Okay, so we have done that outline stitch. We have the front connected to the back. The last step are the 2 stitches that kind of look like buttonholes, and that's going to be where your lollipop is going to go. I personally, I'm going to do those stitches in the color of the top felt that I'm using, which today is white. So I'm going to use white thread for this step. And like we were talking earlier, if you want to stretch out these stitches so that you could fit a larger item in, like a pencil, those stitches might come out a little wonky from you adjusting the size and embrilliance. So doing it in a thread that is going to blend in with your felt will prevent that from being so noticeable. So now we're doing our buttonholes for the lollipops. Let's see. Chris has said she realized that the comments on Facebook versus YouTube are different. Yes. So on my screen, I'm seeing all the comments, and it has a little box for YouTube if the person's from YouTube or if the person's from Facebook. So yeah, you're going to be seeing different things. So that's why I'm putting them up on the screen. So no matter which one you're viewing it on, you're seeing the question that I'm answering. Donna's on both. Thanks, Donna. So here we go. So Donna's on YouTube. See, she's showing me she's on YouTube, but she's on Facebook too. You're awesome, Donna. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all. So thank you to everyone that's been commenting and asking questions. So since I'm trying out this new platform to show our sip and stitch, there is a giveaway feature on it. So for everyone that's commented, liked, and shared, every time you've done that, you've been entered into the giveaway tonight. So let me check my screen. Oh, let's see. It says 0. Let's try again. Okay, well, never mind. I'm starting it now. Start collecting comments. We got 39, 51. There we go. Okay, so there it is. So every time you comment, like, or share, you're being entered into we're going to do a little mini giveaway tonight. I'm going to give away 1 free month of my CF Fans membership group. So I had so much fun getting the giveaway together for Anne, who won this evening for my 10,000 subscribers. So I'm like, we need to do this all the time. But so I'm going to start like going through my craft room and find stashes of things. But I thought for starters tonight, I can give away 1 free month to my CF Fans membership group. And if you're not familiar with that, it's a paid for monthly membership where they get access to behind the scenes stuff going on in my craft room, exclusive tutorials. We have a private Zoom class every month, a private Zoom sip and stitch where we do a project of like different aspects, but we've really been focusing on digitizing lately. And I've been doing stitch artist tutorials and more embrilliance tutorials, things like that. And then I also give a free embroidery design every month to the CF Fans members. So tonight's drawing is going to be for 1 free month of access to that group. And if you're already a member and you win tonight, then I'm going to give you your money back on a month. So get some money back. So yay. So we're going to try that out tonight and see how it goes. So make sure you comment all the things and so you can enter to win. It looks like it's collecting it now. Oops, what did I do? Okay, no, don't do that. All right. So let's look at our final design. So this is what we made. And if you look closely, we have a few jump stitches that we need to trim that we're going to clean that up. And we also have to make the actual holes. So you can see the stitching barely there in the white thread. That looks like little buttonholes. We're going to cut some holes in between those stitches. So first, I'm going to get my tweezers and my good scissors. So like I have a jump stitch between these buttonholes. Why am I doing this the wrong way? Okay, I am right-handed. So I'm just using my tweezers. This is my little trash bucket. We got jump stitches between these pink steps. And if you like the scissors I'm using, they are from Sewing Machines Plus. I found a new manufacturer that I really like because I was getting them on Amazon, and then I guess they changed manufacturer, and the new ones they don't work well at all. So I bought a few from Sewing Machines Plus, and I like these. They're made by Havels, Havels, and I have a link for them on that Sip and Stitch homepage. Let me put that up again in case you forgot, or someone didn't see it earlier. So that's the Sip and Stitch homepage. That's where you can get the free download to tonight's project and a complete supply list with links to the scissors I'm using, the stabilizer I'm using, my machine, and I have a link to this X-Acto knife too, which we're going to use in a second. All right, so I'm just cleaning up these little jump stitches. I have been spoiled by all my big machines. I'm not used to cutting jump stitches anymore. And if you're new here, I have several embroidery machines. I have a Brother Persona, which is a big single needle machine. It only has a one needle, but it looks like one of the big multi-needle machines. It has a free arm, and that's actually, we're going to use that for next Sip and Stitch. And that was my next machine after this one. And then I also have a 10 needle big industrial machine, a Ricoma, EM 1010. And then I have two more flatbed, like fancy flatbed machines. I have a 3600D, which is a Disney sewing and embroidery machine from Brother. It's really nice. It goes up to a 6x10 hoop. And it's kind of like a step up from the machine I'm using tonight, except it's also a sewing machine, but it has a 6x10 hoop. It cuts jump stitches, and it stitches a little bit faster than the machine I used tonight. Look, we got some threads on the back here too. Then my last is my very fancy Baby Lock Altair, which is a sewing, quilting, embroidery machine, and that has a ginormous hoop up to 9.5 by 14, which is humongous, and it does all kind of fancy stuff I haven't learned yet. But those are all my embroidery machines, and I rotate them. I use a different one. Sorry, let me go back to the comments so I can see. I use a different one every time we do a Sip and Stitch, so that you could see a variety of different machines. But most of all the projects that I do, you can do on any machine. It's not too often. The only limitation usually is hoop size. So that, like this project tonight, for instance, if you only have a machine that has a 4x4 hoop, then right now you can't do this until I can figure out a way to fix it, to make it smaller. Okay, so now we've trimmed all the jump stitches. This is what the back looks like. So now we are going to trim it right where it is and cut the edge. So I like to use, they're called pinking shears. They cut the little triangles, right? That just gives it a cool textured edge. You can also use a straight regular pair of scissors. I just wanted to do something a little fun. I usually cut it about 1/4 inch away from this outer border, but you can do, whatever whatever you want. But you just kind of eyeball it. And then with these pinking shears, you got to make sure the triangles line up when you're like going from moving the scissors. Up, there's my timer. We're almost done. Hey, Google, stop. Okay, that's my timer. He's going to be coming to get me. In case you're joining in late, I totally messed up thinking my friend's little birthday get together is tomorrow night, and it's actually tonight. And it started at 7 o'clock. So I told my husband I will try to be very quick, and we are going to go to that party just a little bit late. And it's right down the street, so it's not like it's going to take us a half hour to get there. Okay. Boom. That is done. Now, last step. Let me turn it around so it don't look upside down to you. We're going to use an X-Acto knife. You can also try and use a seam ripper. You can poke it in there and just push through to the end of the stitching. But basically, you're just going to cut a very little line in this hole that you've made in your stitches, and what looks like a buttonhole. So, and I'm on my cutting mat right here. So I'm just pushing, and I'm not trying to cut the little rectangle of stitches I made. I'm just trying to make a line in between there. If you joined me for when I did my holiday workshop, we did a similar method when we made a candy cane holder. We made these little holes. Okay, so that's it. So now you're just gonna push your lollipop in and out, and you have a cute Valentine's Day lollipop holder. And like we talked about earlier, you can go in Embroidery and try and stretch out these rectangles to be a little bit wider, and you should be able to fit a pencil. Like if you have some cute pencils with hearts on them, you can fit a pencil in there and give that as a gift in case your school doesn't allow the kids to bring candy or food. So yay. All right. So any last minute questions before my husband comes and gets me out of this room? Because I am surprised he has not come banging on the door yet. Awesome. I'm glad y'all like it. So it's our cute little project. Don't forget that you can go and download the free design on my website, carlybell.com. Just go to the Sip and Stitch homepage. All right. Yay. Thanks. Let's see. Here we go. Thank you, Tina. She said he's so cute. She loves that it's a sketchy design. So I tried to keep time in mind with these because I know that usually when you're making something like this, you want to make a bunch. And so you don't want to spend, 12 weeks making them. So I tried to keep it to a lower stitch count, but I love the sketchy look too. And I like the frog as a sketch. Okay. Let's see. Yay. I'm glad y'all like it. Yay. Okay. Let's see. Did I miss a question? Okay. Yay. Okay. Sorry. I'm checking all the chat and everything and making sure y'all like it. So yay. She said, thanks so much. Awesome. Let's see. Iris said, new on everything, new to your channel. Yay. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Embroidery is so much fun. So much fun. All right. All right. Diane asked, can we fit 2 designs in a 5x7 hoop? Yes, Diane, at the beginning of this video, I went on Embroidery and I showed you how you can make 2 of them and then color sort it so that it all stitches out, like the frog stitches out here and here in one step, and you don't have to keep going back and forth. So when this video is over, go back and watch the replay at the beginning, and you'll see how you can stitch 2 at a time. So again, getting the most out of your time, and just put one big piece of felt on there and stitch 2. And then when you're done, when you cut it out, you'll end up cutting out 2, but they'll be the same color felt. All right. Oh, this is a great idea. Kathy said the frog would be cute with some mylar behind it. So if you haven't done a mylar project, they're very, very fun. Basically, before you stitch the frog, you'd place a piece of mylar, which is like cellophane, on the felt before you start stitching, like a topper, and then stitch the frog, and then you tear the mylar away. It tears right off, just like topper. And then you'll have some cute iridescent shininess behind your frog. Yay. Con is my thumbs up lady. So she said we made it to over 100 thumbs up. Yay. Thank y'all very much. Okay, so quickly before we go, let's pick a winner for the giveaway. How do I do this though? Can y'all see it? Let's see. Brand, I don't know. Okay, we're going to see if this works. Okay, I'm going to draw a winner. We got 105 entries. Oh wait, I was supposed to share my screen, I think, before I did it. Oh, Jerry Turner on YouTube. How do I share my screen? I can't figure it out. Sorry, I was supposed to share that before it started going. But Jerry Turner, let's see. I think I can add that on here. All right. Jerry Turner is the winner of 1 free month with my CF fans group. So Jerry, I need you to email me at hello@carlybell.com, and I am going to set you up with your free membership. Yay, Jerry, she sees it. Good, good, good. Okay, so email me at hello@carlybell.com, and I'm going to set you up with that free membership. I like this. This is fun. All right, maybe I'll finally get around to making my sip and stitch tumblers, and then we can use those for giveaways. That would be fun. All right, so let me go before my husband kills me. Thank you all so much for watching. I will be back in 2 weeks. What is 2 weeks? I never know the date. 2 weeks is February. Okay, February is going to be rough. We have to figure some stuff out, but I'm definitely going to be back February 4th, Friday, February 4th, for our next sip and stitch. I know it's going to be on the persona, and we're going to make a hat. We made a hat last year on the persona, and I don't know what I did, but I deleted the video, so it's not on YouTube anymore. So we need to make a new video. So we're going to make a hat on the persona. It's probably going to have something to do with football, since we're getting close to the Super Bowl. We might make a fun football hat. So that's what we're doing next Sip and Stitch, February 4th. It's going to be on Facebook and on YouTube, so make sure you tune in. And again, all the information is going to be on the Sip and Stitch homepage. You can always find all the information of what's going on my website, carlybell.com, and you can sign up for my weekly newsletter, which gives all the information of everything that's going on and some fun tips and tricks for embroidery every week. So thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.